really pleased to introduce this special guest who's new to the show. Now, this is the reason why we have UK Black Men Talk Show, to celebrate black men, to collaborate and to conversate. Last year I interviewed, when I started, Boss Man, I call him. I interviewed management, and today I'm interviewing one of my colleagues. He is a comedian, TV actor, writer, radio presenter, DJ, multi-talented man who's also known to you guys here as Quincy. Welcome to UK Black Men Talk Show, to the multi-talented Quincy. Welcome, Quincy. Welcome.
Thank you for the introduction, and I appreciate the words multi-talented, even though that men are not known to multitask. I don't know if I'm multi-talented, but yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, well deserved, Quincy. Pleasure to have you on the show. Right, so firstly, the check-in. Let's have your number from 1 to 10, how you're feeling right now, and a word or a few words of how you're feeling in this moment, Quincy.
1 to 10, how I'm feeling, I would say a 6.
6, cool.
The reason why I'm saying a 6, I won't say a 5 as the average, just above average, because this is a day which I get an opportunity to do admin and catch up on scripts and various other things and meetings, and I'm in the middle of cleaning my house,
Right.
as in deep cleaning, throwing away things, and refreshing my mind. So I've been doing this for a little while now,
Right,
and
that's
so
brilliant.
that is the reason why it's a 6.
A 6. Now that's brilliant to be clearing out. What's your word? Give me a word right now, Quincy.
The word I would use would be reflective.
Reflective. Brilliant. Reflective. So Quincy, UK Black Men Talk Show, your colleague. I'm inspired by you, and many of our listeners contact me all the time when they message about your show and everything. So Quincy, it's about where you want to start really, because there's quite a few questions we have, and also a space for you to share what you'd like to say to our public self. So can we start with that? Who is Quincy, your public side?
Public side, Quincy, from a public, is a comedian. I've been a comedian. Next year will be 25 years. Quincy is a lad. Is a person who integrates with all people from all walks of life. Who is a team player, who would assist anybody who needs that help or that support. And he is a person who yearns love and affection from a business aspect, like anybody else, and support. That's who Quincy is.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Quincy, because this whole public side as well, I know that as a comedian, firstly, so many people have said to me, they've been to your shows, people love what you're doing out there. So can I start with the whole comedy side to start with? It's inspirational, and I want to know, do you use your comedy side to raise awareness of like social issues out there? Recently, people are saying within the last year or so, comedy has changed in terms of people are seeing it as a platform that really is helping people who are going through mental health crisis. So quite a few areas there. So whatever you want to share.
So I would say when I started comedy, I used a lot of energy and a lot of references to my upbringing, my family. I got my inspiration from my surroundings, and from a generation who are the Windrush generation, growing up in families we could all identify as West Indian, as we all got characters.
Right.
Within our family, like we all got the alcoholic uncle.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? We've all got that dad who likes to gamble and stuff like that, or like bit of a womanizer, or you know what I mean, in some circumstances, you know what I mean. So I based my comedy very much on my surroundings and what I had around me and how it defined me. And then obviously, then I became a father,
Yes.
and I spoke a lot about my experiences of being a father on the circuit many moons ago, and the relationship of with me and my sons in having a daughter. And then started to, like, yeah, I wasn't really I'm not a jokey person. I'm a more of an observant of
Hmm.
my surroundings, and recognizing my surroundings is identifiable with the everyday person, regardless of
Yeah.
your class. And I would say since then, as my children have got older,
Uh-huh.
I've manifest that comedy into political and social issues, to try to find the funny and the humour
Uh-huh.
by raising um, issues, uh, and I go by that, by the people who I listen to, who I've grown up listening to, from people like Dick Gregory, Bill Hicks, the people of today, Dave Chappelle's,
Uh-huh.
um, and Bernie Mac, who's my that's my comedy king right
That's
there.
your comedy king, Bernie Mac, right?
Bernie Mac, yeah,
Hmm.
all day long. Um, yeah, so if I listen to these guys, and I take in what they're talking about, and I'm watching why the crowds, and I know they're American, and all that, but I'm watching why is the crowd laughing and fanning up, and why are they identifying with this person who's from a particular area, but he can transfer his comedy to a wide audience from all around the world. It's it's I should be doing that. And after the lockdown,
Hmm.
um, really after the lockdown was a eye opener how the world changed, and I've witnessed and seen a lot of social media coming into play. I witnessed a lot of comedians who, like, everybody wants escapism, so they were just doing comedy for the sake of doing comedy. But I said I can't. I said I made a promise to myself
Uh-huh.
after that first wave of in quote question marks COVID. I was like,
Yes.
well, there's information out there which is not tallying up. So how can I put this across in my comedy? How can I make people laugh but think at the same time? So I
Yes.
made a promise. I said, for me, no more. I can talk slack, but the slack, just being funny, it has to have substance. What I talk about. So
You've made the
that's on my
changes. Yeah, you've
hmm?
made changes in that area then.
Yeah, I made a promise to
Conscious
myself,
change.
because yeah, I'm going on stage and I was very much about the moment.
Hmm.
But and people, when I walk on stage, people say, "Oh yeah, I know Quincy is funny," but I wanted people to recognize me when I walk on stage. What is he going to say? And the same thing with like my radio shows. Like, what is he going to
Hmm.
talk about today? What angle is he coming at? Whether they agree or disagree, but at least the end of my set, let the public have a conversation. Like I said, whether
Absolutely.
they agree with me or disagree with me, but they've laughed or they've groaned or they've like, oh, I'm not too sure, but they've ended the night by going home having a debate. Whether I'm talking about relationships, if I'm talking about
Hmm.
relationships with their partners, their children, or work, they've had a conversation.
Getting the people talking and
Yeah,
connecting. I heard about you on the journey, and definitely you're a funny comedian and you do raise awareness and you have that energy and that passion for what you're doing, and people can connect to that. So that's really important. And that's why we have this show here to celebrate, to acknowledge yourself and all what you're doing out there in the community. So, what would you say, Quincy, outside of family? What would you say that you're passionate about? What comes to mind right now? Something that you're really passionate about.
passionate about.
Yeah.
Um, let's add our words. I'm passionate about people, empathy, having compassion. I'm passionate about people having compassion. I feel that there's no compassion or empathy in today's society. I think it's been steadily and consistently driven out. We are looking at things very black and white. and we are questioning things for the wrong motives, and we're not coming at it from a point of view, okay, then why is this happening? How can we avoid this again? So I'm passionate about empathy and compassion.
Right. See, and this is what's so brilliant about this, because this space, the whole amazing space, because the whole collective empathy is something that we're passionate about here on UK Batman Talk Show. And how does it feel to have a community that responds to you and connects to you? How does that feel? Might be a strange question. It might be a strange question, but yeah, how does it feel? Because not everyone receives that warmth from the community that they're from. So just how does it feel to know that your community connects to you and understands what you're here for?
It's a great feeling for anything when people acknowledge what you do, and they take the time to call or text, and have those conversations with me. That's a great feeling to have, but it's a feeling that I've told myself I can't rest on, because it becomes a comfortability. And like I've always said, that anything I do, I don't just want to. If I love my community, I would challenge my community, and I'm open enough to take criticism from my community, as long as it creates a middle ground in the debate. So I'm grateful, I'm humble when people call in. I think one of the most humblest experiences when I was away this year, Barbados, for my anniversary of my late father. I was getting messages, when are you coming back? And it was a nice feeling that it's nice for anybody. When you're appreciated, it's just nice. It's just a nice feeling, but don't take advantage of that emotion.
Absolutely not. You remain humble, and that's really cool, to remain humble. Yes, and it's a powerful thing. Quincy, one of the questions goes back to your comedy. Have you ever been heckled during your comedy act?
No, I've never been heckled. I've had silence.
Silence, right?
And to be honest, I prefer heckle than silence. The silence lets you know, as a comedian, you're not connecting, and the fact of it's like, most comics look at silence as a disappointment. It's like, oh, that's not funny. Oh, and it's like a pity. But when they heckle, at least they're giving you some kind of energy which you can feed back. So I've never been heckled. I think my body language and my persona on stage doesn't necessarily allow it to do that. But I take each show as it comes, because any performer can have a bad day. You know what I mean? So I don't take it for granted.
You don't take it for granted. Well, thanks for sharing that. And also, you have answered this question, but they want to know who are your top 3 comedians. You did mention comedians that you like, but your top 3, Quincy.
Top 3 comedians. Yes. The first one, Bernie Mac.
Yes, Bernie Mac. I remember you said
That's
that.
The first one. And then in there, I would put this. I will probably put Robin Harris.
Robin Harris, right?
Robin Harris. He was in House Party. He was the father in House Party. He is a Chicago act. He is before Bernie Mac. Right. He's done a animation called Baby Kids. Right. So this, I mean, the first one is Bernie Mac, but the rest is the last one. I will probably say early Cat Williams. Is between Cat and Dave Chappelle.
Right, I was waiting for you to say Cat Williams, because he's my favourite. Cat Williams, absolutely. Dave Chappelle. It's a hard one, isn't it, between those two?
Yes,
it is difficult.
It's a hard one. I think that, I mean, again, Steve's journey, but I also recognise that he hasn't been embraced for all different reasons by the mainstream, because of what he does and what he talks about, and the fact that he's had to finance his his own specials and production, and he's put people on. Gives me a lot of time to have respect for him. And Dave Chappelle, because he challenges the status quo, and he's literally taken time out not to be a part of that machine. But he's still being successful because he recognizes the machine loves money and power. So when he goes to a theatre or a stadium to put a show on, they're not going to refuse him that he can't perform. Because they're thinking, well, we're going to sell out here. So money talks. And the fact that he's uncancelable is one of the reasons why it's between him and Kat are up there for me.
Yeah, definitely. They're powerful comedians. Also, to ask you with regards to UK comedy scene, because would you say you are a top UK comedian? You've got to be. You are.
I can't. I have to let the public tell you that.
Okay.
I can't say that. I can tell you that I hold my own, but there are people out there that I do admire, and I am currently right now who are in my top 3. But that changes. But UK, right now, Kane Brown is my guy. Slim and Mickey Flanagan.
Right, those are your UK ones. I did my little research there, and people were mentioning yourself as a UK top comedian. So just to know, like, you're on this platform, you do all sorts of, you're a presenter. Have you always been driven to be on top of everything that you're doing? I know we have a few minutes left, but have you always been this driven, full of energy person? Because you've got that energy, Quincy.
Well, I'm driven because I haven't got a team. And what you find that when you haven't got a team, if I don't drive and motivate myself, nobody else will. So if I stop what I'm doing, that's the end of me. I have to keep on what I'm doing, and I don't do it to keep up with the Joneses. I do it because, you know what, my prayers will be answered. I've had people ride along with me, but as we all recognise, people come, people go, but I have to keep on going, and it's finding that right team. So, being driven, I've always been focused, and it's come at a price, but I've always been that individual because I'm the firstborn. I've always had to pave the way to be a part and to be successful in what I'm doing.
Right, that's inspiring, because we had the whole motivational before, and there are people out there, Quincy, who are feeling rock bottom, and they say that the guests that I have on, they're inspired by the guests. So really, for them to hear you're juggling so much and you keep going, and there's that energy for life, and it's really important. So Quincy, we're going to go into the break. You're going to stay with us for the other side. Talented Quincy, who's a super. We'll be back, guys, after the break.